What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Baddog back with another New York Giants video. Been a terrible couple seasons for the New York Giants. There's no doubt about that. And there's a lot of talk about the uncertainty of what could go on going into the 2020 season. There's talks about Dave Gettleman not returning. Obviously, Pat Shurmur. You know me, I'm not a fan, and there's talk about him not being here. And obviously, if Shurmur goes, you're going to see Betcher go, you're going to see Shula go. You're going to see the Giants clean house. There's talks of Ron Rivera. There's talks of Matt Rule. There's talks of Jay Gruden. There's talks of a lot of different head coaches, a lot of different coordinators. And now, of course, with Tom Coughlin being fired, people have thrown his name into the mix as far as Giants head coaches, Giants front office. Who knows? It's going to be a very interesting offseason for the New York Giants. But one name that I wanted to bring up, and I wanted to do this about a couple weeks ago, I just never did it and didn't find the time to do it, is Bill Belichick. Now, Bill Belichick, it's a very interesting thing, and as far-fetched as this may seem, Tom Brady's nearing the end of his career. We don't know how much longer Tom Brady's going to be with the New England Patriots. He's had a great career. They've won 6 Super Bowls together. They could win a 7th this year. Who knows? But Bill Belichick really doesn't have anything to prove as head coach anymore. Now, people can say Brady couldn't win without Belichick. They could say Belichick couldn't win without Brady. Whatever they want to say, it really doesn't matter. Because Bill Belichick, has, as I said, has nothing to prove as a head coach. Bill Belichick wanted to keep Jimmy G over there, and they got rid of him. So I don't know what Bill Belichick has to go forward with when Tom Brady retires. Is there a possibility that Bill Belichick returns to the New York Giants in some facet, whether he's a head coach, although he's in his 70s now, he may not want to do that anymore, as a front office guy, kind of like what Tom Coughlin did over there with Jacksonville, as a GM, who knows? He's professed his love for the New York Giants. He's always said he would love to come back to the New York Giants, and we all know he's New York Giants royalty. Guys my age or older than me that grew up with those 80s teams, that saw that amazing defense. Now, it helps when you have a Lawrence Taylor. But we saw what Bill Belichick's game plans did, how great that defense was. And I always look at that 1990 Super Bowl 25 against the Bills. His game plan to slow down the pass, to drop 8 men into coverage. Nobody was doing that back then. He did that. Brought in extra defensive backs and just let Jim Kelly try to, find his targets. I mean, the game plan is in the Hall of Fame. So Thurman Thomas had a big game because they didn't want us. They didn't care if he ran the ball. They didn't want Jim Kelly throwing the ball all over the field. That was Bill Belichick's game plan. Bill Belichick, in my opinion, is the greatest head coach in the history of football. I think he's a phenomenal defensive mind. I think he's just a phenomenal football mind. The New York Giants could definitely use Bill Belichick in some facet, no doubt about it, because of his football mind, his acumen, his IQ. He's just a brilliant mind. He's a brilliant, whatever. People can say they cheat. They can say whatever they want. To me, hey, Bill Belichick's doing everything he can to get an advantage over his opponent. So it is what it is. I don't really care about that stuff, the filming, whatever. All this crap that is going on in New England makes me think he may even decide to get out of there more sooner than later. And perhaps if he comes over to the Giants, maybe he brings over his own people. Maybe you'd see Josh McDaniels as the head coach. Maybe you'd see his son, Steven Belichick, as a defensive coordinator. But in my opinion, this is something that you could see near the end of Bill Belichick's career. He does, like I said, as a head coach, he's got nothing to prove anymore. There's no more Tom Brady there after a certain point. Maybe that's when Bill Belichick decides, okay, I'm going to walk off. Maybe he stays one more year after Brady. Who knows? But I do think in some part, now again, I'm not talking 2020, but I'm thinking maybe in the future, maybe the nearer future than the farther future, Bill Belichick could come over here and become some part of the Giants again. He's always wanted to come back home. And I know as Giants fans, we always wish he never left. At least me. I always say Bill Parcells should have had his heart attack earlier in the offseason before Cleveland signed Bill Belichick to the head coaching job over there. And Bill Belichick was our coach instead of Ray Handley in 1991. Who knows where the Giants would be right now as far as championships, because he was fantastic at what he did here, and we saw what he's done as a New England Patriots head coach. Like I said, 6 Super Bowls. Nobody's got more Super Bowls than that. Just a phenomenal mind. It would be great to have him back where he belongs with the New York Giants and letting him make some important decisions as far as coaching, as far as talent, as far, players' talents or whatever, then have some say in who we draft. Give that man some power in this organization. Obviously, the Tishes and the Maras love him. They've got a good relationship with him. It would be amazing to get this guy back here at some point. Again, this is not going to happen overnight. We're not going to fire Pat Shurmur and Dave Gettleman and bring Bill Belichick and his regime over here. I'm just talking about sometime in the future, whether that's 2021, 2023, whatever. Could you possibly see Bill Belichick coming back here in some aspect of New York Giants football again? I would love to see it. I know that. Again, I know there's a lot of younger guys that were not around. You have to be I wouldn't say very old. You got to be at least in your late 30s to have appreciated what Bill Belichick did over here as a defensive coordinator, at least in your late 30s. Because in 86, I was only 10 years old. So, I'm in my early 40s. So, you'd have to be like 37, 38 to actually appreciate 1990. You'd be about 8 years old. So, at that point, you would appreciate it. At 8 years old, I think you would understand the concept of football. Can't say I was born in 86 and I started watching the Giants when I was 4. Well, when you're 4, you're not really grasping the concept of football. Even at 8, it's a stretch. But still, you would understand what's going on. At 4, you're just kind of watching the guys knock each other around. But I digress. Bill Belichick, is it ever possible that he becomes part of the New York Giants organization again? And if you think so, in what facet or aspect of football does he come back and help out the New York Giants? And we want him to come home. Bill Belichick, come back to the Giants. God knows we need you over here. Till next time, guys, it's Baddog, and I am gone. Peace!